This is Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, commencing the Wales Ragchew Net. Unfortunately, at the moment, the live stream doesn't seem to have any audio going out. Oh, it does. There we go. It was just the theme track that didn't seem to be going out, but I didn't notice to the very, very last minute. So what I'm going to do is, as normal, I'm going to call for check-ins. I'm going to try and call for 5, then pass it round those 5 check-ins, and then call for another 5. So we'll get the log screen on the screen, and we'll call for check-in number 1. If you'd like to be number 1 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael in Lebanon, Tennessee, United States of America, on the Wales Ragchew Net.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, it looks all good there on the live stream. And of course, yep, your call sign comes up before. Yep, I'm going to try and fill some time before I take the next check-in. I can hear audio back, but yep, that's from the CQ Northwest. Trying to make sure that it is all going out there as well for me. And trying to get onto the YouTube to make sure that the sound is going out there as well. If you would like to be number 2 into the Wales Ragchew Net, yep, the sound's going out, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
W.D.R.G, Steve in Penarth, South Wales. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mark GW5VOG. It's still coming up as 2W0VOG on the old dashboard and everything. But I have been into the log this afternoon and I edited it. So I edited your 2W0VOG so that when I type GW5VOG, it brings up your details there. The only bit I haven't got is that Penarth bit. Yep, I will get round to there, and I'll have to get that one sorted. So what we'll do now is we'll go for number 3. If you'd like to be number 3 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
G0EUZ, Rod in Cambridge.
Yep, G0EUZ, got you there, Rod, not a problem. So, if you'd like to be number 4 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard, and YouTube has caught up with me, so, yeah, definitely left a nice long gap there. Although I can see some Echolink stations testing there, so I can see M7CCS, so I will put him as listening for now, unless it does say RX only. And I will put Barry, and he's got the W there, but I don't think he is in Wales. So that's 2E0. PXW, so 2E0PXW. I also know that Simon is going to be monitoring for some Echolink levels. As I put at the beginning, Echolink has been upgraded. What we'll do is, I've got the 5, so I'll go up to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, waiting for another Saturday net. And it looks like the other 2 guys that normally join with us are here. Really good to hear from you, Rod, and good to hear from Steven. Hope everything's going well over there. And I understand that, I know in the middle of the week, there was quite a bit of snow coming over your way. We haven't gotten that yet. We've gotten some cooler temperatures, and we're expecting a fairly heavy frost soon with nothing like snow. I got some great pictures from Scotland from a friend of mine in Scotland, and I saw some of that Chris posted of his back garden. So looks like y'all might have a potentially white Christmas. Hope so anyway. Hope everything's going well over there. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, not a problem there, Michael. And of course, yeah, the snow seems to have disappeared. Yeah, I've done something quite crazy today. Of course, yeah, the date today is the 23rd of November. And yeah, I put some Christmas lights outside. And the Christmas tree is up in the living room, stroke shack. So, yeah, Donna wanted to do it, so of course it was done there. So we will go round to GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Good evening, Michael. Good evening, Rod. It's the old Three Musketeers, us three again. And good evening to the listeners on Echolink, maybe, are they? Kevin and Barry. Just to say, I shouldn't have been here tonight. We were supposed to be having a family party tonight. But it was put back till tomorrow at the last minute, or not quite the last minute, but anyway, we're having the family party tomorrow, so here I am. I won't be able to celebrate much because I've got to drive there, so there we are. I'm not in a very good mood this evening because Wales just got thrashed by South Africa, 12-45, and my soccer team, Man City, just got thrashed at home by Tottenham, 4-0. So not a good sporting day for me, really, so that's put me in a bit of a down mood. So there we are. With that, hand back to the net controller, Chris M7CCS from GW5 VOG. And it looks like on the live stream I'm still 2W0. Never mind, I don't mind, I like it. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, of course, yep, I have put the log back on screen, and you will see that you are GW5 VOG on my log there. So, yeah, I've edited that today. Yeah, I've always been relying on Pablo to update it, but then realised I can actually go in and update it myself. Yeah, it's all good there. So we go round to Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ. Yes, good evening, everybody. Nice to hear you all on. And yeah, commiserations, Steve, on the football and rugby. That's most unfortunate, but that's the way it goes, I suppose. Excuse me. Weather-wise, yes, it's we've had no snow. There was a bit yesterday when we got up, just a tiny bit lying on the ground, but not. But this morning's actually been it's been very blustery, but it's not been too cold at all. Oh, I've still dressed up in the same same gear as if I would have done if it had been very cold. But there we go. So I've got a fire lit anyway, and the heating's on, so I'm not doing too bad. But apart from that, it's been a very strange week. I've not really done a lot, seeing as I'm sat here. I did take the wire antenna, well, the pole, down yesterday to save it from the wind, but I think it would have survived anyway. It's not that windy, it's just a bit blustery. So, yeah, we're not doing too bad at all. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0 EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there. And of course there's me editing the log, putting it out there. Of course we are bound to actually, calling for some check-ins again. So what I'm going to do is there are a couple on there as listening, as in from the Echolink. So of course, if you are watching the live stream, you might see yourself. If not, you might call and check in. I have got M7CCS. It does say RX only. 2E0PXW. I've marked you as listening as number 5. I know that Darryl, MW0TTF, and Mrs. Darryl, listening via Echolink, is just listening. And I believe that Simon is going to be monitoring some levels, so he might not be coming in just yet. He might tweak a couple of things. MW0GSR. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, if you want to be calling to the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and over.
Whiskey 1, Tango Echo Romeo.
Yep, that's Twitter, Monty, GW1TER, and you'll see, look at your location, over here, over there, anywhere. I have been playing. So, if anybody else would like to check in, go ahead with your call sign, name and location for the Wales Ragchew Net. Okay, nothing heard there. So what I'll do is I'll put it back round to Twitter, 2W1TER, Monty, round to you there. And yep, I'll let you have your over, and then we'll go back to the top of the list to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Whiskey 1, Tango Echo Romeo here, yeah. God, I suppose it's a bit weird, isn't it? I don't know what's going on. I went in the garage just now, and God, the condensation inside the garage is mental. Got to leave the door open a little bit at the bottom on the garage door, try to get some airflow through, but the weather's all over the place. We had snow, and then a bit of sunshine, and it's freezing cold, and then, and then they've got the storm coming in. But everything's sopping wet, and you just can't get dry. But there you go. So I'm going to have a nice warm cup of coffee now, and decide what to do for the rest of the evening. I've got a few things to do, but mostly procrastinating seems to be the main thing. Procrastinating seems to be winning a lot this week. Well, we'll find something to do. I just hate winter. Hate being stuck indoors. Hate it, hate it, hate it. So I might bring my motorbike indoors. I might bring the bike into the living room. It's getting too... It's wet. The bike in the garage was wetter than if I'd left it parked outside in the snow. It's mental in there. But, yeah. The weather, isn't it? Anyway, 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo, back control.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Monty. What I'm going to do now, we will put it round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, round to you there.
Well, thank you, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And Stephen, I can commiserate with you. My professional football team is having a lousy season this year. Seems like to me they're going more for last place than first place. Winning very few games this year. If you're the lone man in the totem pole at the end of the season, then you get the #1 draft pick next year of all the guys coming out of college. And I think that's what they're going for at this point in time. I don't know. It sure seems like they don't want to win these days. We started out the morning this morning about, it was very cool. I'll say that. And we're all the way up to about 15 degrees or so right now. had quite a bit of wind this week, and we're looking forward to next week. Next week is our Thanksgiving on Thursday, and my daughter-in-law and son have already put out the menu, and so there's going to be quite a bit of that food going on. I'll probably have some very good food corn for next Saturday, but this week I'll get around to that here in a couple of minutes. Good to hear from everybody going out there. Good to hear from you, Rod, and hope everybody's doing well. And I'll turn it back to you, Chris, and hopefully we'll have a few more check-ins, but it's the quantity of the people that counts, isn't it? Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yeah, there's definitely a bit of food porn there. Of course, the other evening, we decided, instead of actually, so we did a full English breakfast, and basically, that's basically what we had for food. It was all good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go round to GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Thanksgiving, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, it celebrates the fact that the first colonists in Virginia were delivered from starvation when the native Indians showed them how to grow corn or something like that. I might be wrong, but that just reminded me, you might be interested, a member of my family who was called Nathaniel Causey, was one of the first settlers in Virginia. He came over on the 2nd Provision, which I think is the 3rd boat that went there, and he went there on his own, and then he brought his family over, and some indentured servants. That's my family name, Causey, and he had an area of land at the James River somewhere, which was called Causey's Care. But he did eventually sell it and moved. Nobody seems to know where he moved, but I think perhaps to Carolina or somewhere like that, and I have no idea what happened to him after that. But he was a friend of Captain Smith of Pocahontas fame, and Captain Smith's sort of biography, which is well known to be largely a work of fiction, did mention him several times, and he was also a representative in the Commonwealth Assembly, or whatever it was called, in Virginia. So there are, there's my claim to fame. Doesn't make me a son of the Revolution or whatever it's called, but because I'm not descended from him, but he's part of my family. So with that, before a timeout, back to you, Chris.
Yep, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, and of course, I'm trying to balance some little audio levels myself of the live stream. My YSX? It's taking the wrong microphone on. But yeah, you don't find out until you get in the seat. But what I've managed to do is increase the level going out of OBS. That seems to be working because I can hear it coming back now. Audio is resumed to normal on the live stream. So we go around to G0 EUZ, Rod in Cambridge.
G0 EUZ returning to the group. Well, Steve, that's an interesting bit of history there. Very interesting indeed. I can't claim anything like that as far as I know. And Monty, yeah, I can commiserate with you over the damp in the garage. I have a workshop outside. It's actually a concrete block built building, but the roof is corrugated, probably asbestos. It looks like asbestos. And of course, if you have a frost, everything condenses on the underside and drips down when it thaws out. And to make it worse, the floor obviously it was put down without any membrane in, because that gets wet through to start with, as the groundwater level is quite high here. So yeah, anything of value in that place is covered with sheets over the winter, which is a nuisance really. But there you go. It's a nice big workshop, but it's not really usable in winter, and it needs a complete revamp really. The windows are falling out. The double doors are rotten. So, but fortunately the caravan hides it for the most part. So leave it where it is. I think my YL would actually like to knock it down altogether and start again. Well, no, leave it without. He doesn't think I need a workshop anymore. But there you go. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS, G0 user.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Rod. So we're going to go around to Monty now, 2W1 TER.
Too much you want to take a look over it, yes. It's a bit mental. I think it's just the constant temperature change, isn't it, that causes the condensation. If it gets cold, it mellows out. But it's just up and down all the time. But yeah, it's soaking wet in there now. But I had a bike cover over the bike, and the trouble was that wasn't letting the moisture breathe off. So when I moved the bike cover up, picked the bike cover up, it was ringing. So everything's sopping wet. So yeah, I put a couple of blocks of wood under the garage door, so when it closes, because it's electric, there's like an inch gap at the bottom to let some air through now. I've got a garage heater somewhere, one of those electric bar ones, and I took it off the wall because the bracket had broken, and I thought, oh, I'll put that somewhere safe. And now I can't find it, which is typical. But I'm not sure how expensive they are to run. I've been looking on Amazon at those old paraffin ones for the greenhouses. But, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I hate this winter. I do. I absolutely hate it. But, yeah, you can't do nothing in there. Everything's sopping. Absolutely sopping. I went to the tool cabinet and that was running with water. I mean, my spanners are up cold and damp and... yeah, not a happy chappy. Not a happy chappy about it. But there you go, that's winter, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it? We're all day to do stuff and trying to find stuff to do. I just get bored. Huh? 2 Whiskey 1 Tango, I can remove back to control.
Yeah, Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, as I hit that timeout button as well, because you did manage to get that timeout there, just at the end. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call for some more check-ins. So, if you'd like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, I've just put NDAF into the log there, but he's listening via his iPhone, so it'll probably just be listening. I've got NDAF in there, didn't hear any audio, just noticed it as a new call in the Echolink So what I'm going to do is we'll go back up to the top of the list, so we'll do it on the actual log, and we're going to go to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Well, thank you, Chris. It's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And just up front, I'll let you know, my son may be coming by, and I may have to depart the net really quickly if he does. He's doing a job for me. I got a little problem with a washing machine. He's going to come over and bring me some hoses for. So if I disappear, that may be probably the problem. If not, I might let you know if he calls me en route that he's on his way. That's just the luck of the draw this week. My wife and I are still doing things for the transplant. We've had two meetings, video conference meetings, getting some of their preliminary paperwork out of the way. It's amazing to me. People think that it's just a quick and simple thing to get a liver transplant, but it takes literally months of qualifying and tests and procedures and blood draws. She had 19 blood draws so far, and then all the previous exams and things like that. So it's a very difficult procedure. It's nothing that is going to happen overnight, but we're working our way through it, and hopefully we're thinking in 3 to 6 months she might be on the list, or she might receive her liver transplant. So that's what we've been working on very steadily since, probably for the last couple of months. And well, hopefully everything works out right. We'll have her a new liver or a partial liver in her in no time at all, I'm sure. And we're just sitting on standby for that. Yeah, well, I guess I did too much time, so I guess I'll go ahead and tell you about the Pilgrims and Thanksgiving in the next round. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Michael. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And, of course, next we're going to go around to GW5 VOG. Round to you there, Steve.
GW5 VOG returning. I think talking about condensation. My shack, which is in a quite small bedroom in the attic in this house, I don't have any heating in there. Actually, there is a radiator, but I never turn it on. I don't spend that much time in there. And but the window last week, yesterday and about 5 days before that, was absolutely soaked every day, every morning with condensation, worse than I've ever seen it before. So obviously a bit of a problem. On Thursday, we went to the cinema in Cardiff to see a film called Anora, which I'd recommend to anyone. It's very, very, very funny, very funny. And the connection with the weather is it was very, very cold in Cardiff. He wrapped up, thinking that when I got there I'd have to take all these coats off. But actually, when we sat down in the cinema, it was freezing, and it got colder and colder. It was like the air conditioning was blowing cold air out, and it really was cold. We complained about it, and they said, oh, there's a fault with the system. Obviously, we've got to wait till the engineer comes or something, but they didn't offer us our money back or anything. But there we are. And on the day before, we had another bit of an emergency. We had a plumber came to fix a fault with a toilet in our cloakroom, and he turned the water off using the stop tap outside, the main stop tap in the thing, and the stop tap broke, so we were left with no water. And so we had to phone up the water board. They did come and fixed it within about 4 hours, which was quite good, but it was a bit scary sitting with no water for a while. Obviously, we couldn't put the central heating on, although we have got gas fires around the house, so it wasn't that bad. Anyway, so there we are. More disasters. With that, back to you, Chris M7CCS from GW5 VOG.
7 Charlie Sierra. Yeah, well, I had an email there this afternoon, actually, to do with Wales, actually. Of course, it was basically one to say that there was a water issue as well. But I ain't there at the minute. But, of course, we've got a bit of a water issue here. It just keeps falling out of the sky high. Next we're going to go round to Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ are back to the group. Yeah, that sounds just about right, that, Stephen. The only thing that surprised me is the fact that the water board didn't tell you it was your responsibility. You know, that's what they normally, well, that's the impression they give you when they send you these things for insurance on a 3-monthly basis, you know, which annoys me. But, normally what they say is once it enters your property, it's your responsibility. So you'd have to dig it up and replace it yourself, but there you go. Cinema, probably 10, 15 years or more. Shocking, really. Food-wise, I've had a king prawn booner tonight, and it was very nice. It wasn't too hot, and it was very tasty with homemade flatbread. And yes, I enjoyed it. Whale had something totally different. I had to cook steak and chips and tomatoes and peas before, and then I did mine afterwards. Of course, a few glasses of wine to go with it. It's all very nice. So, Michael, I can imagine just how difficult it is getting a transplant of any kind, really. And it's just something you've just got to wait, haven't you? And our best wishes to Kathy. I hope all goes well eventually. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0. He used that.
Big 7 Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there. Next we're going to go round to Monty over there, anywhere, 2W1 TEL.
2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, I haven't been in the pictures for ages. There's no cinema around. Well, it used to be. I think there's like one in Bilf. But yeah, the cinema I haven't been for ages. I haven't really seen a film that's caught my eye that I want to go. And everything's just available within a couple of weeks on net, and you can watch it in the privacy of your own home, I suppose. So it doesn't really encourage you to go out like you used to. Used to be a big thing going to the cinema. It was good. Used to get 2 films back then, though. And the Saturday morning matinees, they were good fun. God, I used to love them as a kid. A couple of lucky bags. Spent all morning then watching rubbish on the big screen. And then some really bad films. And then we'd all come running out pretending we were John Wayne or Cochise or Flash Gordon or whatever we'd watched. But yeah, cinema was a thing. Haven't been for years now. No. Haven't been for years. I was going to say something else as well, but I've forgotten. Anyway, forget time out. 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo back to control.
Like 7 Charlie Sierra, not a problem there, Monty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if anybody else would like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over.
Mike Whiskey 7, Kilo Echo. Name is Mike, based in Colwyn Bay, North Wales.
Mike Whiskey 3 Yankee November Kilo.
Driving
car altogether.
Okay, so I got a pile up then. So yeah, it was Mike Whiskey 7 Kilo Echo, Whiskey 7 Kilo Echo. And I know that the next one was called Gerald, but I didn't get the call sign because it was a slight devil there. And I think that Simon may have been coming in from the Echolink as well. So right, I'll just check that I have got Mike near Colwyn Bay, Mike Whiskey 7 Kilo Echo. And then Gerald, I think, might be near the same area. So I'll check with Mike first.
Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, Mike Whiskey 7 Kilo Echo. Yeah, as I mentioned, the name here is Mike. I'm in Colwyn Bay in North Wales. Just on an ambi stick at the minute, so we thought we'd come and try Fusion and pick this one. I'm with Gerald, or Jerry as he's known. We were both just chopping and changing around talk groups and nodes, so we happened to stumble across this net, so glad to be part of it. Back to you there, Mike Whiskey 7 Kilo Echo.
Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, yeah, not a problem there. And of course, yeah, it's going out live on YouTube as well. With the help of CQ Northwest, where you've connected into, I'm using their audio for my live stream, and then it goes out to YouTube. Currently, I'm on a DMR radio, and there are stations on Echolink, and there are stations via WiresX. But of course, yeah, basically, it's connected in for the net, CQ Northwest, to Wales Digital Radio Group. So that WiresX is 87517. And of course, you can check out www.W.D.R.G.net, .uk even, and you'll get a little bit of information, network map on there as well. So what I'll do now is I'll call in Jerry, or Gerald, as he's known, and yeah, I'll get the call sign in.
Very good evening to you all there. You've got Jerry, Mike Whiskey 3 Yankee November Kilo from Colwyn Bay in North Wales. I was just listening to you there. Christ, that's amazing technology. That I don't know how you've worked all that out. That you know, people are coming in from all over the place on different modes even. Fantastic technology over.
Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. Well, we've got a base XLX server, XLX042D, and then everything pretty much connects into there, hardware linked, not software linked, to bring latencies down. Of course, the Echolink, yeah, that takes care of a few little things now, very well. So there were some teething problems, but that has now sorted it. So it all works very well. Everything's interlinked, and the network itself, people connect to us. So CQ Northwest connects to us for the nets. There is a repeater, Golf Bravo 3 Lima Zulu, that connects to us. There's another repeater, which is GB3 Whiskey over in South Wales. That normally connects to us, but it's a little bit sick at the moment. But yeah, all good on coming in then, the ways that you are, and of course joining in with the Wales Ragchew Net. So what I'll do now is I'll see if anybody else would like to check in, and then we will go back up to the top of the list. So if you'd like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Hand it over.
Mobile driving using my iPhone was most of the
N6 UTC, using your iPhone. You sound like you got a sore throat. The audio level isn't all that. But if your car connects to the Bluetooth, that might be why. But of course, yeah, that happened to me last night actually. I was chatting away with Ron, and we connected up to the car with Bluetooth, and yeah, it all seemed okay. But yeah, if you want to try again there, and N6 UTC.
Yeah, I'll do my best, but it's not very good. I'm driving right now. Sometimes it comes to take the night. Just want to say hello. It looks like two films on split. It's over there at Bank Hallway. I'm on the 605 freeway now, heading home after being out all morning. I'll hand it back to you, Chris. If I get a better connection later, I'll chime in. N6 UTC.
Yeah, N6 UTC, yeah, not a problem there. Good that you got to call in there, but yep, it was understandable once I turned the radio right up. But it sounded a little bit like you're underwater. But thanks for checking in there, and so yeah, we'll see if anybody else would like to check in. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location for the Wales Ragchew Net. Okay, nothing heard, so we go back to the top of the list and we go to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India, Papa.
Well, thanks, Chris. It's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India, Papa. And I want to tell Stephen that's very cool history that you've got. That's very interesting. The Pocahontas and John Smith story is a long taught in our schools here, along with the Pilgrims, which is actually what started the first Thanksgiving, which was about 1620, from what I understand, when the Pilgrims came over here, probably a little ear prepared to spend their first year in the States, in the colonies, I guess it were, or I guess it was before the colonies. And so the Indians, as they were called, or Native Americans, taught them how to hunt, fish, and plant crops. What I thought was really interesting when I was a kid, they were learning how to put fish in the ground with the seeds of the corn that they were growing, which kind of fertilized the land, and when they actually grow crops, kept them from starving that first year, and they shared the bounty of the harvest with the Indians, or Native Americans, and that was the first Thanksgiving. And so now we have the first Thanksgiving celebrated every year on, I think it's the third Thursday in November, and then followed by Black Friday, where we hit the sales as fast as we possibly can. But you have a really cool history there, Stephen, and it's really cool. I hope you have it documented someplace, and so you can be passed down from generation to generation. Now I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, and Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Michael. And of course, yeah, it's good that we can talk about all these things on the net there. And of course, yeah, we've got another couple of people who are curious, and of course, yeah, I'm sure everyone's going to say hello as we go around. So we go around to GW5VOG, who identifies as 2W0VOG. Not his fault, or is it? Over to you there, Steve.
GW5VOG returning. It is my fault, really. As you know, I'm just lazy. I can't be bothered telling Brandmeister my change of call sign. But there we are. They're going to take my intermediate call sign off me one day, so I might as well use it while I've got it. Anyway, yes, the Pilgrims. I'm not sure whether is Plymouth in Virginia or is it in one of the other colonies. I think my family member, as I say, I'm not descended from him or anything, so but my name is quite rare, especially spelt with a W, which his was, and it's quite often spelt with a U instead of a W. But Nathaniel was W, Causey, same as me. And there was, especially at the time when he was alive, there weren't many of us in the UK. So he is definitely a member of my family, but I'm not directly descended from him. As I say, he kind of like disappeared in America. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. There are quite a few people with my name across North America and quite a lot in Australia as well. So he may have passed his genes on somewhere, but he might have ended up only having daughters or something like that. Yeah, so the Indians, the Red Indians, the First Nation, whatever you want to call them, I think they all original settlers to a certain extent. They were quite friendly and helpful to them overall. And how did we repay them? By giving them our diseases, and they all died from the flu and that kind of thing. So we didn't really repay their kindness, but it is good that you do give Thanksgivings for that, and I wonder if all Americans do realise that I suppose they do, that they're giving thanks that the Red Indians saved them. Yeah, so I've forgotten what I was going to say now. I was going to say something really interesting, but I have forgotten, so it can't have been very interesting, can it? So anyway, might as well pass back to Net Control, Chris, M7CCS from GW5DRG. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, you might as well pass it back to me. I'm only joking. Hi. But yeah, all good there, Steve. So we're going to go round to Rob now, G0, EUZ. Round to you then.
G0 EUZ, back to the group. A very good evening and a welcome to Mike and Jerry there. Nice to get some new blood in, and just, you know, the bigger the net gets, the more interesting subjects we manage to get through. The only thing radio-wise, I've been watching a particular radio on eBay and looking at a Yaesu FT847 with a view to doing some satellite work on the sideband. But unfortunately, it's already gone past the 3 days left, and it's gone past when I was willing to pay anyway. So that's put pay to that idea. Of course, I'd have to get antennas and rotators and what have you as well. So maybe not a good idea, but it's just something I fancy doing just for something different, you know. But there you go. I have been trying to connect the IC7100, you know, remotely again, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and very frequently it disconnects itself part way through. You know, after half an hour or so, it'll disconnect itself. Because you can't control it, it leaves it switched on. So you can't get back at it, you've got to go back outside and switch it off and then start again. So for the most part, you don't bother. So back to you, Chris, M7CCS and the group G0 EUZ.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, I did a little bit of monitoring and testing this week. So of course, yeah, we had that horrible white stuff, or well, quite nice white stuff, but it's horrible because it's freezing, the snow. And then the day after, well, no, about 2 days after, I think, because it started to melt because of the rain, and then the sun was out. So I did the other end of my long wire. Down to the tree, and then yeah, with my bungee as well, and yeah, the antenna's been waving away happily, and it's all okay. But also, yeah, I got a better noise floor than I ever had before. So, of course, yeah, it was worth getting the antenna up in the air. So that works pretty well. So I'm going to go round to Rod now, G0EUZ, and yeah, well, yeah, I believe I am going round there. I might not. No, I'm not. I'm going to Monty, 2W1TR. Confusing myself here with all these bells jingling on the baubles as Donna's putting them on the Christmas tree. Over to you there, Monty, 2W1TR.
2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, I'm going to have to shoot a minute. I've got to go to the little boy's room. Back in a second.
Monty, I'll leave you out for that one. So we now go round to Mike, MW7, Kilo Echo Echo. And yeah, thanks for joining in. Hey, well, we'll see if Gerald's there then. Mike Whiskey 3, Yankee November Kilo. Okay, they must have come checked it out and gone. So what we do is we go straight back to the top of the list. So if anyone is on the side, yeah, we will take check-ins once we've gone back round the list. So yeah, we've got 4 to go, and then we'll be calling for check-ins again. So we go to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Well, thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And I guess I'll go ahead and dive into the food corn side of the house. My son last week, Brett, I told you about the party for the Tyson fight, and he smoked some ribs, smoked some chicken wings, and he gave us a nice little care package early this week. The ribs were delicious. He did an excellent job with them. They were very smoked, very good, well done, very moist, very tender. Along with the chicken wings, chicken was just as good. And my wife made some baked beans to go with them, and they had just the right amount of brown sugar and just the right amount of a little bit of meat, and inside usually bacon is what we chop up and put in with the baked beans. Gives them just a good flavor and texture. And for some reason or other, she had a craving for banana pudding, so we had a big bowl of banana pudding. She had some leftover bananas that were beginning to turn a little too ripe. Those are the best ones to use. She chopped them up in there, put down some vanilla wafers at the bottom, put in a nice pudding with a meringue layer on top. Very rich dessert, so you can only do a little bit at a time without getting a good high sugar high. And I think that's our food form for today. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you reminded me there. Of course, I had 2 slices today of some banana cake. So yesterday, Donna was going to throw some bananas away, and Harry said, "Don't throw them away, I'll make her a banana cake." And yeah, this morning, he made a banana loaf. He put some Galaxy chocolate in there as well. So yeah, it does taste pretty nice, and it was nice to have with a little bit of coffee. So we're going to go round to Steve now, GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Right, I remembered what it was I was going to say that I couldn't remember on the last over. And unfortunately, it was a story about Colwyn Bay. And say unfortunately because we had 2 people on from Colwyn Bay and they've both gone now. So I've just remembered it. where I was going to start was we were talking about going to the cinema and Saturday morning. I remember doing that, watching John Wayne and other cowboy films with the cavalry and all of that sort of thing. Coming home and riding on the armchairs, the armrests of a leather settee, which made lovely saddles, and yeah. So I remember those days. I was born and grew up in Liverpool, and I used to go every Friday night to the school that I went to, and which, by the way, two pupils there who were there at the same time as me, although I didn't know them at all. I only learnt this after, was Paul McCartney and George Harrison. Anyway, I used to go to the school every Friday night and watch Flash Gordon, which I used to love. And I think I've said this before, when I see Elon Musk's Starship coming into land, it's just like Flash Gordon's spaceship coming back to Earth. So it's incredible. Anyway, yeah, so that was my thing there. But I was going to say, my father's from North Wales, and we always used to go on holiday in North Wales to Rhyl mostly, and Llandudno. And but I had a great auntie in Old Colwyn, not Colwyn Bay itself, but next door, Old Colwyn, which I think is the posh area of Colwyn, which is quite posh altogether anyway. And she was rich, and we used to go and visit her every now and again, and it was like going to see Miss Havisham in Great Expectations. So with that, I'd better put it back to you, Chris. Anyway, that was my Colwyn Bay story, but it was irrelevant because the Colwyn Bay members have gone. Back to you, M7CCS.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there. And yeah, it's nice to have the story there. Unfortunately, yeah, we put them on the log, but everyone gets two chances. So they will be called again. And then unfortunately they do turn red on the log. So they've turned yellow at the minute. So yeah, there's a chance to redeem. It's a little bit like a traffic light system. So yeah, if you're in, it's white. In play. So I've put the log up while I'm talking about it. If you're in, it's white and you're in play. If you're listening, you're blue. And if you've done a 7-3, you basically go green. So yeah, it's all good there. But most of us know that that are actually on the actual Ragchew Weekly. So what we'll do now is we'll look where we're going. And we are going round to G0, EUZ, round to you there, Rod.
G0, EUZ, back to the group. Well, all these banana puddings certainly sound nice. I'm not a great lover of bananas. Once the skin sort of goes, get some black on it, that's it, I've done with them. But at the same time, I don't like them green either. But when I lived in Africa, of course, they used to eat them as a vegetable while they were green, you know. Chop them up and I suppose it was a bit like the potato, really. Boiled or whatever. So there we go. Yeah, what else was I going to say? Shocking, I forgot. No, I can't think. I'll have to pass it to you, Chris, while I think about it. M7CCS, G0, EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you got a little bit of time to think about it. So we're going to go around to Monty now, 2W1TER. He couldn't do the last over, but hopefully he's back for this over. 2W1TER.
Yeah, 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, I've got to get my antenna back up. My long wire doesn't seem to be working, so I've got to drop that and find out why. I don't know if the ULM's gone or whatever, but it's just too cold. I was just thinking of sticking a T2L T2 up and having to go at the old CB, but I'm just too cold. I just can't be bothered going out in the garden and fanning around in this weather. And I don't know if I can be bothered buying a new long wire. I don't know. So it goes. I really need to sell this radio and start getting my stuff in order, don't I? I've got so much stuff I need to sell. The trouble is, it's Christmas now, so people aren't buying stuff, are they? They're saving all their money, or they want everything for a £5. But, yeah, it's just the weather and it's putting me off. But I don't know what happened to that long wire. It was working good, and then slowly all the frequencies just started dropping, and then bad signal. I think maybe the wire's snapped or something in the wind. I've got a break in it somewhere. So I've dropped it on the pole, but it's still fixed to the side of the house. I've got to get out and hang out the window and untangle it from the drain pipe and stuff. It's a right nightmare because you're working so arm out the window blind, trying to bungee stuff to a pole, to the downpipe. You can't really see what you're doing. But there you go. But I've got an old G5. No, I ain't playing around with that. So anyway, yeah, probably won't get nothing up for the next couple of weeks anyway. But we'll see. Yeah, time now. 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo back to control.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you were saying about the bands. We'll wait for the next band report. But, of course, yeah, I just done 80 meters, full band, and didn't hear a peep. So, yeah, it might not be your antenna. It might just be conditions. So, right, I'm going to look at the logs, see if I've got anything else in play. So we'll give a call for Mike MW7 Kilo Echo. Okay, nothing heard, so we give Gerald a call, MW3, Yankee November Kilo. Okay, nothing heard. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if anyone else would like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over.
Yeah, good evening. W.D.R.G coming in via Echolink. Just thought I'd quickly go in there and see if I can get a test out of you there, Chris. I'll come back to you. You can tell me if you can hear me or you can't hear me. Back to you, over.
MW0GSR, well, you're in at number 7 already because you were there monitoring, so I've just put it into play. I can hear you, so guessing you're probably out mobile, are you?
Yeah, thanks for ringing me in, Chris. I was out mobile. I've just walked into the house, accessing via Echolink on the T320. I've just done some tweaks and peaks here and there. Not many people talking via Echolink, so I can't really hear their audio into the XLX network, so I haven't been able to do anything there. But coming back into the new Echolink stuff is working perfect. Everybody sounded really good, actually. You kind of wouldn't know what digital voice modes everybody's on, so there you go. But if you're hearing me okay, then not too worried about that. I did hear Endorf coming in earlier on, but he sounded like he was shouting from the other side of the car. But there you go.
But yeah, so like I say, I'm putting in via Echolink and hopefully it's suitable. Back to you.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, it's slightly on the basic side, but it's probably what you're going in on. But other than that, yeah, it's all good there. So right, I'm hoping you're going to be in for the next round, and yeah, you'll be able to tell everybody what the Echolink upgrade was, because of course I put it on the beginning of the net, the Echolink upgrade. So we'll see if anybody else would like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard, so we'll put it up to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India, Papa.
Thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India, Papa. And the big news that I've heard this week as far as ham radio goes is Shark RF, the makers of the Open Spot series of hotspots, has come out with a new product. They're calling it the mic. That's the M1KE, and it's a new hotspot, but it's also a standalone. You can communicate with anybody else that has the mic without using the Wi-Fi or the internet. Now, I've just began to look at it, and it looks pretty cool. It's in a clear case, and it has mic written on the front of it. The only thing that's kind of slowed me up a little bit is I look at the product page, and it's costing €349. A little bit steep for my blood at this point in time without knowing anything about it. But I was just wondering if anybody else had heard anything about this new hotspot. Like I say, I've always liked the Open Spot series, and they've always been real good quality. But I'm not sure if I'm willing to step into this one to cost more than a pretty decent sized radio. Well, now I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India, Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, and yeah, during that over, Simon sent me, he sent everybody actually in the W.D.R.G group a picture of the new Echolink upgrade working there, with a waterfall on there. So that's how I run my 200, Simon. So we go round to Steve, GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I'd actually forgotten that we couldn't use Echolink. When I saw the Echolinks on today, it didn't dawn on me that you've only just put it back on. So that's good. Anyway, it's a very good standby to have if all else fails, your hotspot blows up or something like that. Talking about that, I've still completed my hotspot construction, but I have dismantled my broken fire spot, and I've taken the MMDVM hat out of it, and I have somewhere in a box of rubbish a Pi 0W, which I've just got to solder the pin thing on it, and then I'll be able to put the MMDVN hat on. Hopefully it will still be working, so I will bring the fire spot back to life, but with a real Raspberry Pi, not a cloned Chinese Orange Pi. So, by the way, did anyone see about, we had the exploding ICOM handhelds. The latest thing is the Ukrainian government contacted the UK government to tell them that they had analysed, shot down Russian drones and found that they were now putting Raspberry Pi computer boards in them, which obviously they're not supposed to be able to get hold of. They're manufactured here in South Wales, and somehow they've found their way to Moscow. to go into their drones. So not very good. With Monty, I wanted to say before, you're over here, over there, and over everywhere, or whatever it is. Are you also oversexed and overpaid? There we are. And with that thought, back to Chris M7CCS from W.D.R.G.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, there's been a lot of that in the news, and of course, yeah, the icons, the being able to launch a missile to anywhere, yeah, that's a little bit more worrying than the exploding icons. But yeah, you're saying now they're using Raspberry Pis, but yeah, they're not necessarily the Raspberry Pi though, are they? The people jump to the conclusion that it may be a Raspberry Pi, but it could be a banana pie, an orange pie. Yeah, there were so many different variants of AMD computer coming out when we had the Raspberry Pi shortage. It might not actually be the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, but of course, yeah, you can program them to do certain things, and yeah, you can program them to key a radio, so you can program them to trigger an explosion. Yeah, it is the dangerous society that we actually live in there, isn't it? So we're going to go around to Rod G0 EUZ.
G0 EUZ, back to the group. Oh, very interesting. Yeah, Michael, I've not seen anything about this Shark RF mic. But yeah, it does sound a bit dear, and of course, because we're not in the EU anymore, we have to pay a high price for it as well. With the VAT, etc., etc. Cheaper to buy from China. If it was available. But yeah, like you say, Michael, there was a lot of copies, wasn't there? Brought out. It could be them, but if they're specifically saying Raspberry Pis, they might know something that we don't. From bits and pieces left over after they've shot them down. So yeah, it's getting quite scary, really. What could go, or how far it could go. We shall just have to wait and see. But yeah, Steve, I hope you get this thingy working. Firestar. Yeah. Sounds an interesting project. I shouldn't need to do anything hotspot-wise for a while yet. I've got 5 altogether. I only use 3. Got a very nice DV Mega, but it never switched on. It looks nice. When I switch it on, it takes too long to boot up. So I don't bother with it, really. But I might do if I need to. So there we go. So what else was there? No, nothing. Back to you, Chris, M7CCS G0, EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yeah, I did see that new open spot there, and I saw the speaker on there, and I was thinking, I wonder if that's active while we're using it as a hotspot. That could be annoying, couldn't it? But it probably not. But yeah, it claimed, the thing I read on there, which was alarming, it said, yeah, for licensed and non-licensed networks as well. And of course, yeah, I remember I'm actually an admin of one of the DMR groups, and yeah, I had messages screaming at me to take a post down there one day, and it literally was because somebody was using Pi-Stars to try and make a PMR network and whatever, and I thought, well, they're screaming about it a little bit, and I thought, let's have a look. So I tried to put 446 frequency in a Pi-Star. You can't put one in there. So yeah, it's pretty much it's over before it was done. But yeah, anyway, each to their own. Of course, yeah, that it doesn't stop anybody. Of course, building a YSF server, an XLX server, something like that, if they want a private network. But of course, to actually use the RF, you've got to be licensed, haven't you? We go round to Simon MW0GSR.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. MW0GSL, accessing via Echolink. Interesting stuff. I did like your comment about that RF shark, Chris. Very Fisher-Price looking. Gosh, that's a bit of nostalgia, isn't it? Very good. Even Michael would get that reference, I think. Oh, it's good stuff. Everybody sounded great, by the way, through the system. So I'm quite chuffed about that. And yeah, there's quite a bit of building work been going on this week. It's quite an expensive, over-the-top Echolink bridge into the system, I'm brutally honest. And we've got to thank one of our friends, old friends, Forrest, who donated or helped donate the radio to the cause. But it means that we don't have to worry about DMR TG6. It's always going to be active whenever you get in there, so that's all good. So we've resolved an issue. It's only taken a year and a half, Chris, but we got there. But apart from that, it's all working. It's doing what it should be doing. And, good to hear everybody. Steve sounding good, Watt sounding good, Michael sounding good, Twitter sounding good. So yeah, those audios are good. Normally I have trouble, Michael, with the American voices that come over because I'm transcoding from digital to analog. And normally, for whatever reason, some of the American voices are booming. However, yours is perfection. So I'm getting nothing at all, no issues at all. In fact, my only issue I've had tonight is Chris when he gets excited. He's shouting, but it's not hurting anything at all. It's all working. So yeah, hopefully everyone's hearing me okay, and we're back to normal on the Echolink side. But apart from that, I've been working solidly with all the storm and everything, the dodgy weather we've had this week. It's been call-out central, and it's just been non-stop. We're all on standby. Lots of water everywhere, causing lots of problems with electrical stuff. That's all I can say. And yes, Chris, it is a very scary world at the moment. But, we just keep doing what we do and keep smiling and be as happy as we can. Some things are a little bit out of our control. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much there, Simon. And yeah, trying to get some up on the screen now, but unfortunately it doesn't want to. Oh, it's coming. Yeah, I've got to move a little box down out the way, and yeah, everybody can now see the new Echolink system being presented there. So Simon said it was overkill, but yeah, many people might have heard us talk about a number 13, which is what keeps the WiresX side alive and the network linked in a sense, in a short nutshell. But of course, yeah, the Echolink used to go in DMR to the network, but it now goes in via YSF. Of course, a little bit overkill there. Forrest donated the radio. He had a little bit of reward as well with payment, and he didn't use it anymore. And Simon modified it down to a lower power there, and that's what's powering the Echolink. So when you talk on your phone, your device, or whatever on Echolink, that is what's doing it and putting you through the system there. And yeah, nice clean audio there coming from Simon as well. So we go right to
Russia or wherever it goes. There's always ways around it, and there's plenty of places to buy stuff. They just go through friendly countries or get people in other countries to bulk buy it and then take it in. You never know, do you? I very much doubt they're coming from the actual factory though. But yeah, if you've got somebody in the Philippines bulk buying them and then they post them off to Russia, who's going to know? That's the problem. It's all right saying it, but it's trying to enforce it, isn't it? That's the problem. But yeah, we've seen how technology's changed in the last 2 years with this war, though, from just the drones and that, and now we've got AI drones and self-targeting systems and automated defense systems and that. Yeah, it's getting a bit Star Warsy out there now. It's getting very, very techno. It just shows how quick war can change. The tank is now a useless device. It's just too vulnerable to a 300-pound drone and a 50-quid rocket shell. Amazing when you think about it, isn't it? I mean, I'm ex-army and I was in during the Cold War, and the vast troops of Russia and East Germany coming towards us was our target, and yeah, you could take them out with a... Yeah, 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo and back to control.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, you did get hit the time out. You've hit it twice. You've now hit it a third time, but I didn't actually put the time out through as I'm presenting there. But not a problem there, Monty. So of course, yeah, I'm presenting about this mic thing. Not quite sure how well it's going out on YouTube. So it might be a good idea to have a little look-see. So yeah, I might have to actually blow that page up a little bit to make it better. So I've done that, blown it up a little bit, and basically yeah, it's got a few features on there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if anyone else would like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard, so we'll go up to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Let's go round again one more time. Time is actually catching up with us. But yeah, we'll go round and then we'll do a 7-3 round. So, round to you there, Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Okay, nothing heard from Michael there. But yeah, I'll try and give him another call. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. He might have the audio up on the live stream. Hi. Okay, nothing heard. I'm sure he'll be back with us for the 7-3 round, so we'll go round to G5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I think you anglicised me then and missed my W out. That's okay. Of course, regional locator thingies, secondary, whatever they're called, are now optional, aren't they? I always like to use the W though, because I'm proud of being in Wales. Even though I'm English, as I said, I was born in Liverpool, so I'm a Randy Scouse git. I looked at the hotspot. I didn't quite pick up what the thing with the microphone is supposed to be. Did you say it was a separate, or somebody said it was a separate network or something? I didn't quite get that. I've open spots shark, whatever they're called, thing. I'm surprised they're European. I don't know much about them. I always imagined they were American because on YouTube, most of the stuff I've seen about them comes from the USA. Seem to be quite popular there. As Michael says, they always look too expensive to me, but there must be a lot more rich radio amateurs in USA, I think. Anyway, as I said, I'm surprised that they're European. Maybe I didn't know that. The drones, yeah, it's amazing how they have changed warfare. But I think one problem when all these wars are finished, which one day they will be, hopefully, we're going to have drone-based terrorist attacks. I think, without a doubt, because there's so many of them being made and they've been sort of refined, so they're really good at carrying bombs and things. They get used a lot now in the UK to fly drugs into prisons because they can fly over prison walls, and I think the prisons have like nets up to try and stop them doing it, but they still get through. But I think, yeah, we'll definitely have a problem with drone-based terrorism after. I don't think we're going to have World War III at the moment, because why would Vladimir Putin risk destroying his cities at the moment when we would retaliate, when in a few weeks' time his friend is coming into power in America, and he'll probably get his way in the peace deal that will be for a risk.
So I must mention, as it goes on the live stream, yeah, other things are available, and it's not a product placement, and I haven't been paid to promote it. it came up on the net, so I've shown it. No, I've got to say that because I'm not monetized. Otherwise, yeah, they'll try and monetize me. So we go round to Simon now, MW0GSR.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I wish somebody had monetized me. There you go. Yeah, good stuff. Take care, Michael. Sorry I didn't get a chance to say hello. But yeah, everybody's sounding good. We're a bit down and we're a bit worried about things that are going on over in other parts of the world and whatever. But yeah, I'll be brutally honest. I never even thought of that. Drones becoming terrorist material. Wow. Yeah, that is a thought and a half, isn't it? But there you go. Amateur radio. It's that's our thing, isn't it? And we seem to be all this technology that we're messing around with, even my little silly stuff that I've got going on here, which can all be manipulated and used in all goes. If I can do it, the clever war boffins can certainly do it. So there you go. But apart from that, it's all working well. I'm interested to know, Chris. I haven't listened to I'm listening to a bit of YSX, and the latency seems to have dropped dramatically. I.e. instantaneous, where before there was a 1, 2, 3 second gap. It seems to be narrowed quite considerably, but that's my opinion. I don't know what yours is, because you hear it much more than I do. And yeah, there we go. So it's wet and windy here in Portsmouth. Not looking brilliant. The good lady has gone off to pick up the little girl from some theatre in Bangor, quite a way away, so I don't know what she's been going.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Simon. And yeah, it seems all okay. There's a little bit of clickiness with the Echolink on, well, it's my network radio, I think. But, you know, I'm only using it to monitor what's in there, to be honest. And, of course, it might just be the little bit of RF is affecting the charging cable. But yeah, not a problem. I'm only using 250 milliwatts on a dummy load. During the week, this radio is normally up to another antenna as well. But I put the dummy load on because it's to use the hotspot. Because otherwise I'd be desensing the WiresX, something I did last week. But yeah, the radio hasn't reset once tonight. It kept resetting like mad last week, but there was all that scaffolding around the house. So yeah, no scaffolding around the house now. So it's all good and all independent now. So we'll go round to Monty, 2W1 TER, round to you there.
Yeah, Twitter, yeah, that's the thing with war. It does march technology on. If you look at most wars, the technology that came out of them and the advancement was pushed forward because, yeah, they haven't got the money for anything else. But when it comes to war, they seem to find millions and billions of pounds to do it. But when the people are struggling, no, we haven't got any money. But there you go. Such as man's desire to kill itself. But there you go. But yeah, I can see drones being used for a lot of other things other than taking photographs of nice scenery. I mean, they already use them out in the Yemen and that, don't they? There've been terrorist drone attacks out there and stuff. So yeah, it won't be long before something happens. And then drones will be banned. And none of us will be able to use them. Just like that. Because of idiots, we'll all be compelled to go back in time and lose all our technology. But there you go. That's human nature for you, isn't it? We'd rather sit around and do nothing, and then it happens, than fight against it. Complacency, eh? Conquer and divide and conquer. That's what they've done. They've got us fighting amongst ourselves, so we can't fight against them. Anyway, let's not get political. You know what it's like on the radio. But yeah, 7-3's all, and nice chatting to you, and I'll see you again in the week. So 2 Whiskey 1 Tango, I'm handing back to control.
Yeah, thanks there, Monty, and yeah, moved it out the flow there. You said 7-3 prematurely. Hi. But it's not so prematurely because, yeah, you are the last one active in the list. So, yeah, you just said it first. But Michael said it first via YouTube, and yeah, I did notice it then, as it was said. So next we're going to go around to Steve, GW5, VOG, for your last over on 7-3.
GW5. Returning, thank you, Chris. Yeah, 73 to everybody. Been a very interesting net as usual. We've certainly discussed diverse topics tonight, and yeah, you said something about someone complaining about the audio being low. I think apart from NDAB, who was mobile and may have been in between mobile phone masts on a freeway somewhere or something, sounded a little bit like he was being strangled. The audio's been brilliant for me from everybody, including Simon. It was a little bit lower in volume over Echolink from Simon, but very, very clear and easy to read. So, yeah, very good audio as far as I'm concerned from everyone. So thank you, Chris, for running the net. Good night to Michael. I know he probably can't hear us now because he's staring at his washing machine. Good night to Rod, Monty and Simon. I think everyone else has gone. But yeah, so hopefully be with you all next week. And 73, I'll pass you back to the net controller, Chris M7CCS from GW5 VOG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, 7-3 to you there, Steve. So we're going to go around to Rob now, G0EUZ for your last over, and 7-3.
G0EUZ returning for the last time. Yeah, very good net, as usual. Enjoyed it, and always something new and something makes you think, you know, for something over the week. So brilliant. And we say 7-3s, everybody. Of course, I missed Sutty's net this week, both days. But there we go. Try better next week. So 7-3s all. Speak to you all soon, certainly by next Saturday. M7CCS G0EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, yep, there's his net there, and one of them was cancelled, wasn't it? But of course, yep, I think then, but you must have missed the Monday one. But of course, yep, so he does run a net on Monday and on Wednesday, from 4:30. So round about 5, I think it's round about 5:30. Has been known to go on till about 6, hasn't it? But it's all down to who's there and who's not busy, etc. So we're going to go round to Simon now, MW0GSR, for your last over and 7-3.
Thank you very much, Chris. Good, everybody's sounding great. I have actually increased the volume into the network from Echolink by 1%, so I don't know if that's made much difference. But a little bit. Thanks for the comments. That's what I needed. And, you know, to just adjust things ever so slightly. The audio coming from you guys into Echolink has been perfection. No issues whatsoever. It's obviously going out is a bit more difficult for me to analyse. But yeah, I'm going in on a proper network radio thing on a T320, so here's our little handheld thing, so it should be doing its job. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we'll catch up with everybody over the next few days. I actually have a day off tomorrow, which is unusual for me. And yeah, I've got things planned for during the day, but tomorrow night it's our little pub meet, so looking forward to that. We'll be able to do a bit more experimenting and toying around there. So, 7-3 from myself and the family, and hopefully we'll catch up with everybody shortly. W.D.R.G in a rainy, windy Portsmouth.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, 7-3 to you there, Simon. So, right, in the Wales Ragchew Net tonight, we had Whiskey Alpha 5 of Romeo India Papa, GW5 of VOG. We had G0 EUZ, M7KAG was listening, 2E0PXW was listening for a while, MW0 TGIF and Mrs. Darrell listening via Echolink, MW0GSR was participating but listening at the beginning. 2W1 CER Monty was there, over here, over there, anywhere. 2W0 APD commented on YouTube, was listening via his Zello and YouTube. And we had M7EMH in Messenger, would be monitoring there for a little bit because I thought I was droppy at a point. Myself, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, Net Control, N6UTC, NDAF via Echolink on his iPhone, sounded like he was shouting at it. Many other audio reports sounded like was strangled. And then, of course, we had Colwyn Bay, MW7 Kilo Echo, Mike, and MW3YNK. Shame we didn't get more than one over from there. So, I was Mike 7 at Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. And, of course, hopefully, yeah, we will join you later in the week as well on one of Sutter's nets. If not, if I don't speak to you anywhere else or any other networks or on W.D.R.G, of course, you can use it. It's active 24/7. We've got, yeah, we have got what should we say, the usual offenders now from about, yeah, 10 a.m. through to 2 p.m. A couple of Australians, a couple of people from South Wales. I go in myself as well, so of course, yeah, it's all there, and of course, yeah, see if we can add to it, and it's just like a round table kind of thing. So, I've been, again, I've already said who I am.